applause, please. Emily Jacob. Hi, can you hear me, yeah? Yeah, cool. So, thank you so much for still being here tonight. It's not going to take too long, and then we can get a drink. I want to tell you a story. It's a story that might sound familiar to you, and it might sound as though it might be your story too. But I want you to know that whilst it might be a sad and painful story, it does have a happy ending, and that means that yours can as well. Once upon a time, I went on a date. We had cocktails, we ordered food. It was a Polish restaurant, so we ordered vodka to go with the food. I used to smoke back then, and I remember between the starter and the main course, we were having a cigarette outside, and I said to him, "This is all kind of quite nice, but I don't think it's going to go any further." Did you know that sometimes for some men, if you reject them, their sense of self just cannot cope? For some men, it's like a red rag to a bull. I didn't know that either. I guess you know how that night ended. I got home, I remember nothing from that cigarette break until I was at home in my bed with him on top of me. Thank you. I know, I didn't say no. In fact, what I said was, "You're not wearing a condom." I think I froze, I know I fought, I submitted. Eventually he left. I did all the things that you're supposed to do. About a month after, when the initial shock and denial had worn off, I went to the police. The CPS decided not to prosecute. I went to the Havens, I went to victim support, I went to the Women and Girls Network, and I got some one-to-one counselling, and then I graduated to group therapy. I'd taken my medicine. I thought I was better. I wasn't better. I was still numbing every conceivable emotion in every conceivable way. Food, alcohol, drugs, legal and illegal, cutting. I turned into a workaholic. I was working 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days. I had a meltdown, a breakdown, maybe a breakthrough. The medicine was prescribed again, more one-to-one counselling, more group therapy. And then I was lucky enough to see a psychiatrist.
Oh, I'm lucky.
When I was discharged, I still didn't feel right. I didn't feel whole. And I felt so ungrateful that I'd had all this help, and I wasn't getting panic attacks anymore. I was sleeping through the night now, but I didn't feel whole. I still felt very broken. I still felt very fragile, and I didn't trust my cure. I laughingly called it remission and claimed to be recovered, but I didn't trust it. I thought that I was learning how to be a coach for my business, but what I found was that in learning how to coach, I was actually helping myself reconnect to my mind and my dreams, to me again. I was learning how to help others. But my body was still lagging behind. I don't know if you know, but in PTSD you get that hyper high and then you have that hypo crash. And my body was still stuck in that yo-yo. Any minor excitement meant that I needed to collapse into sleep. It's not very helpful when you're trying to run your own business. So I was very resentful of my body, and felt that it was my Achilles heel stopping me from doing what my mind now said I could do. Then one evening, I was at a women's retreat, not the kind where you have massages and face masks, unfortunately, but the kind where you do some quite in-depth personal work. And it was an exercise in how we get in touch with our inner vitality. There were lots of women feeling empowered, dancing around the room as though they were lions and tigers. And I was just stood there, frozen, tears rolling down my cheeks, unable to move. And I had one of those aha kind of light bulb moments. I still hadn't forgiven my body for what had happened to me. That was the final piece in the jigsaw puzzle. I had been working on controlling symptoms. I'd been working on getting control back of my mind and unconscious thoughts. But what I actually needed to do was learn how to reconnect into my body. So I told you when I started, thank you for still being here, because now we are coming to the end and you can get a drink. I told you when I started that this would have a happy ending, because I found the recovery path. We need to learn how we can manage our symptoms. We need to learn how we can get in touch with who we are again, and in this world of after, make sense of the world and of ourselves. We also need to reconnect into ourselves and into our bodies to enable us to then reconnect into our communities and into our families and our relationships and our loved ones. So I'm the founder of Reconnected Life. I have some flyers. I run a free Facebook community, which I would love to invite you all to join if you would like, and get to know me a little bit better and find out how I can help you also lead your reconnected life. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all our speakers, to Elizabeth.